Hi guys, how are you?
Welcome to Reality Check.
We have our White Claws again.
Yeah, from last week.
And it's all right because they taste good. It tastes good. Wow, episode number 4. What are we doing?
You know what? We're getting there. 9
know.
subscribers.
9 subscribers. We've already broken 1 set of microphones. Well, correction, I broke 1 set of microphones. And we're testing new ones out, and we have 9 subscribers. Wow. Oh my
We're
god,
almost
guys.
at the double digits.
Oh my god. We're almost going viral.
Almost.
But anyways,
Thank you to everybody that subscribed
Yes.
and watches our show.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And while you're in the process, like, subscribe, put the notification bell on, do all that fun stuff. We got lots of rewinds coming out. We're going to have some extras coming. And our beloved Bar Madness is around the corner. So, whew, it's going to be fun.
Thankfully, March Madness goes till April because I
Yes.
forgot to make the list. But
And-
the list will be the list for Bar Madness will be released. We're actually going to do something new this year. We're going to release the nominees.
Yes, and we also have more of a Vegas Madness this year. So it's everybody.
It's anybody's game.
Ooh, it's going to be so much fun. Okay, so, I mean, we'll definitely, like I said, we're going to have nominees.
We'll talk about them.
Yeah, we'll go into detail like we always do with pricing and what to expect. And especially now, I feel like the Vegas influencers are, like, really struggling. So I think we're going to try to give you as much of a real experience as possible. Because, listen, they don't pay us to come.
The drama.
We got 9 subscribers. They don't pay us to come.
Nope.
We love you. One day. Okay. All right. So, Jessica, you hosted Funk Jam.
I did.
And how did it go?
Oh my god. Okay, so here's the thing: is like, I hosted Funk Jam a few times, like before the pandemic, and I'm not gonna lie, like it was a lot of fun, but it was like a lot of musicians playing whatever they wanted, and not
It was a weird vibe.
and not like kind of sinking in with like the rest of like the vibe, like
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah, yeah.
mean? So it was just like noise for a while.
Oh, gotcha.
This time I was like, holy crap. It was
Oh.
like night and day.
Okay.
And so what was cool about it was like, okay, so you start off with like I got up there and I introduced everybody that was there. Dude, oh my god, it was so cool. But I got to introduce everybody that was there, and then they'd be playing for a bit, and then they would just like switch out. Like they would just kind of like, it was like a relay. Like,
Oh, okay. Like, tag you're in. You
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not that good.
it was awesome. So and there were so many cool people there. Like, Christian Brady was there.
Okay.
And like that guy's like everywhere. Like he's married to Cassie Stone.
Yeah.
Love her. Oh my god. Rock and roll, like Vegas rock and roll goddess. Like,
Yeah.
holy
truly.
crap.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was on stage and I was literally like, okay guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm like fangirling right now because this is like the only
Big
time
time.
I'll ever be able to like share a stage with this dude. So holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, like,
It was so cool. And I told Cassie that I said that because she got there after her Fremont Street gig, and she's like, I love you, you're so cute. I was like, she's like, that's why I married him. I'm like, no dude, like he's a legend. Like,
yeah,
that's
like
fine.
this is,
Like,
yeah. That's funny.
and then like what was really funny was like, so like, okay, so Kevin Molinax was there, who plays trumpet in like at the Space
Okay.
for like Monday's Dark and all those things.
Nice, yeah.
And so he was there, and I was like, Kevin, are you getting up there? And he was like, no, I play enough. And I was like, oh, okay. He did.
Yeah.
Got
talked into it.
And
That's why
then-
Kelly left so quickly after our induction in the Hall of Fame, because they were like, hey, any singers out there? And she's like, good day. I'm leaving.
Yes.
So she did not want a funk jam.
No.
And that's okay. I don't blame her.
That's
Anyways.
yeah, but it was funny. But he was like, he came prepared. He was
Of
he was
course.
obviously gonna get it there.
I
anyway.
mean, you don't go to funk jam as like a legit, like, recognized musician in town and don't like do something.
yeah,
You gotta do something.
it was.
And he knew. That's fine.
It was cool. Brandon Terciano got up there and played trumpet. Why do I always say that? He was playing trombone. And he was amazing. And then at one point, like, Frank Klepecki got up there.
Oh.
and I haven't seen him in like years. Right?
Okay.
He was the original drummer
Oh.
for like the Droids, I want to say.
Oh.
Like a
long
long time
time
ago. And like
Huh.
and I think he might have been in World Cup. I don't know, but that guy, like, we've met.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't realize it was him. So when I was up there hosting, I was like AJ Johnson is here, and Christian Brady, and this other person, and this other person, and like
And I skipped over that.
and then
guy.
and then like I get down, and like I get off the stage, and then Frank gets off the stage. He comes over to me and he gives me a hug, and he was like, "Oh my God, Jessica, it's so good to see you again. You're doing such a great job." And I was like, "Oh, God, it's so great to see you." Blah blah. Like give him a hug or whatever. And then I look at Brandon. I'm like, "Who was that?" He goes, "That was Frank Klepecki." And I was like, I know that guy. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, just checking. Now I feel like an asshole. But
No, he's good friends with Taylor Momsen.
yeah.
That's a Pretty Reckless.
Yeah. So
I love the Pretty Reckless.
that guy's a pro. Like he's
Yeah.
legit,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
amazing.
He's recognized within his like bass community, like really, really. He's really
it was
high
insane.
up there.
So
Yeah.
so I was like in the presence of like greatness, like
Yeah.
all night long. And then like AJ was like doing absolutely, like he was doing amazing.
Yeah.
And so AJ actually like he has cancer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So he's like lost a bunch of weight, and he's like going through like he just so the fact that like he still does this every month.
He wants to do it.
He is just
That's amazing.
And AJ Johnson, who is like the founder of Funk Jam, he puts it together every week.
Okay.
He books it every week or every month. It's once a month. Usually it's Sand Dollar. Sometimes he likes to he's able to get it at Container Park.
Okay.
Anyway, so he has cancer, and he's like just really like going through it.
Yeah.
And the fact that like he's like lost a bunch of weight, he goes through going through chemo and all that, but the fact that he still has like the strength to like get up there
And perform
like that. I think he's even doing this coming Monday's Dark. Like he's,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
like he is really just
Yeah.
like wanting to like keep doing what he's doing, and I honestly think that it's kind of like therapeutic almost.
It's probably
him.
healing to continue doing what you know.
But, I mean, it
Especially
takes
in a
a
scary
lot of
time.
strength. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you don't feel good, and he doesn't feel good.
No.
At all. That's really scary.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he gets better. That's awful.
But it was a great night.
That's good.
Everybody played like with each other.
Yeah.
Like people kind of just like all the musicians that got up there were like, okay, what are they playing? Okay, let me like get in with that. And then like everybody just kind of fell into, and it was seamless.
Yeah.
And it was incredible, and I was just in awe. Like it was I hadn't been to Funk Jam in a while. That was like the first one I had been to in years, like since I hosted it.
Yeah.
And I was literally just sitting there like, holy crap. Like, well, overall, like Funk Jam was an absolutely amazing night. Thank you so much to AJ Johnson for allowing me to host.
Yes.
Thank you to all the musicians that went. I was just in awe of the incredible talent that we have in this town, and hopefully I will see you guys all again soon. But speaking of musicians,
I know, right?
My
so
God.
there was a post. I'm just gonna say the original post. So there was this original post by this person that was like, "Hey, I want to start a Taylor tribute band or like Taylor impersonation thing. Hey, let me know what you want." And then apparently the comment section went crazy. You saw the comment section. I did not.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. So I went straight to the comment section because I was literally like Christina Shaw, and then but then I looked down at like 50 people had tagged Christina Shaw, and like some people were like, "Oh yeah, you could also get Sarah Jessica Rhodes."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Yeah, there's like literally 2 Taylor Swift tribute artists in this town." Like,
yeah.
And we don't need any more. Like I love as somebody who loves Taylor, you have 2 separate Taylors, and they're each good in their own way.
Yeah, I just feel like,
but we don't.
Yeah,
but the fact
we
that
don't
like
oversaturated.
no, but also like the fact that this person like to me, I thought it was kind of goofy. Like, I'm looking to start this tribute band, and I'm like, we have 2 already that everybody already knows about. But that's fine. That's fine. So everybody, like, was tagging, like, Christina and Sarah in this post. But then it, like, if you scroll down, because there was, like, tons of comments.
Yeah.
If you scroll down, you saw some people starting to, like totally trash on tribute artists. Which is kind of annoying because we have, like, a lot of Elvis ones, like...
Yeah.
And so then there was, like, this argument, like, somebody was like, well, it's always been upheld by the courts, blah, blah, blah. So then the argument goes from bashing on tribute bands to, like, everyone starts coming for, like, the cover bands. And then it was like, oh, my God. And then it was like, cover bands are ruining everything for those of us in original bands and blah, 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 and all these things. And I was like, oh, God damn, like...
And then there was a really long post, and that really long post was like this guy who was an original artist. He goes, hey, I don't want to bash anybody, but here's the ecosphere of, tribute bands. The casinos only want cover bands. They don't want original artists. So that means that we all kind of fall for the cover bands. But if you're in a cover band, you're a part of the problem. We don't have a healthy music scene. And that's because local artists can't pay their bills by just their music alone. And I'm like, isn't that the struggle of every single artist? Like, I started really, when I was in LA, I lived in a shoebox on the hills and wrote a song with my guitar, and now I'm a millionaire, right? Isn't that like
but
the
it
story?
Takes, like, sometimes it just kind of takes lots of work. Sometimes, like Taylor Swift started literally when she was,
but
like,
I guess...
4. Okay, but then you have... but then you have people, like, who work really hard. But the thing is like, Vegas is... So you have the Killers. And you have Imagine Dragons. They all came out of Vegas, but they didn't get popular until they left Vegas. Like, this is not the scene for original
and also
bands.
I go, what do you want? What does it mean by pay your bills? Because if you live...
But everybody has side hustles. Like...
But I know, but I'm saying, what do you mean by pay your bills? Does that mean you want it to only cover rent? Does that mean you want it to cover a vacation soon? Like, what does that mean? Because, like, Jessica and I were talking earlier... So what he wants is a scene where this is a locals issue. This isn't a strip issue. That means the locals need to come out and support their friends and original artists, do shows in smaller venues, so that the venues will be like, if they could do, I don't know, just like little shows here and there, and then maybe more people would be interested in that from the strip. Like, if you want something to be created on the strip, especially when it requires local attention, you need to get the locals started on it first. Because once the locals get into it, they'll be like, hey, it's a Friday night, we're on Fremont Street, let's do the Container Park and only do original music.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, that's a start. But, like, so I'm wondering too, like, you're telling me in LA and New York and in Nashville, one artist can go to 5 different venues, perform original music over the weekend, and pay all of their bills?
No.
Without any touring? I don't believe that.
No. Well, this is what okay, so there's a couple of bands. Like, okay, well, Rob Staley's not local, but he's local enough. He's like, he lives in Texas, but like the man plays
in here like
he's
every
2 months.
Yeah.
Every 2 months. Like literally on the dot every 2 months, like clockwork. And he, does covers, but the man has original songs.
Yeah.
That he does in fact play during his shows.
Yeah.
Like, he'll throw maybe 1 or 2 through for the night.
Yeah.
And then he'll like plug his website where you can go find his like, you can order his album or like have a listen or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Roxy Gunn Project. They actually had original music.
Yeah.
And it was so good, and my CD got scratched, and now I can't listen to it. But also, you can't find it on iTunes anymore, which makes me upset.
Spotify?
But it was like their original music was so good, and then they ended up. So the Roxy Gunn Project is now just a cover band, but they have a side band.
Okay, to do all their.
So it's called Crimson Riot,
Yeah.
and they tour.
Yeah.
So like they spend, I know like Chris books. I'm pretty sure it's Chris that books their tour. And they spend like weeks
Yeah.
on tour. And then they'll come back to Vegas and they'll perform at like Sand Dollar, like
Yeah.
the Sand Dollar downtown.
Yeah.
Or the Double Down, when the
Yeah.
Double Down has their like their Weenie Fest or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they'll perform there as part of their tour date.
Yeah.
And then you have who else? Oh, and then you have the band Jerk. Like that is our friend Brittany's boyfriend's punk band, right? That guy tours all over.
Yeah.
But once again, the Sand Dollar downtown and the Double Down are tour dates.
Well, and I think that's kind of what this other guy that was kind of like upset was talking about. He's talking about like, I can't just have Vegas is a one-stop town when it comes to certain genres. And, you know, I agree. A lot of artists don't come here. Like Halsey doesn't come here because, you know, the Joint and the Hard Rock are a little bit too small, but then the arenas are too big, so she doesn't come here. Evanescence didn't come here. I've never seen Evanescence because they've been here twice since I've loved them, and I've loved them since I was 13. Like, I mean, before that, 12, 13. Like, I mean, My Chemical Romance was always really easy to see because they just blew up out of nowhere. But, like, we don't have festivals like other places do. We don't have, like, we really don't have a, like, music scene outside of cover bands. Like, truly a music scene where it's like, hey, it's a Friday night. I want to go listen to some, you know, some local people without a cover in it. I'm going to go here. That doesn't happen here. And a lot of that is because a lot of Vegas, but a lot of Nevada is Vegas and Reno.
Yeah, it's all touristy stuff.
And so it's like you're only going to get a couple dates. So it's like, once again, if you want more people to come to your local shows and have more venue options for them, maybe you should get your local friends to come in. Like that's
or
the
like
first
record,
step.
like singles or whatever. Okay, so like
I mean, they
but
do.
but that also goes back to like, okay, so Silver Sage, I don't know if they're even a band anymore. I haven't seen anything from them in a while. But here's the thing is like Silver Sage had this single called Ha Ha, and it was so catchy and it was such a great song. Like, oh my God, I had it on repeat. I think I even have their album. Like, it's so good. So they played at Carnival Court all the time.
Yeah.
And what they would do is like they would play cover songs all night long, and then their final song of the night. Yeah. Hey guys, this is our single, Ha Ha, and they would end on that. Yeah. And they're like, you can go buy it on iTunes. It's available on iTunes.
Well, didn't
like
Easy Eights used to do that
Easy
too.
Eights used to do that, and then had a whole ass album release
and
party.
Indigo Lounge.
Yes, and then had a whole ass album release party at Sand Dollar. And then we all bought their album, like because they had it out. Forever. Like they had copies of it that you could buy.
Well, and I don't think he's necessarily talking about like, and especially after COVID, that's not happening. You know what I mean? Like after COVID, like none of that is happening. The cover bands don't get to say like, no, they play cover music and that is it. You don't put your own music in. You know, you're very routine.
But I mean, but that's the thing is like you can't. And I think that, you know, if you can sneak in one or two of your original songs in your sets. Right?
But I'm saying they probably can't anymore.
Rob does it all the time.
Well, he's at Gillies. See, this is where, like we were saying, country's a lot different. Gillies will hire you for the weekend. Stonies will hire an act for the weekend. Like, all the time.
Stonies hire.
They'll do it.
Well, they bring on original bands.
So, well, that's what I mean. Yeah. They'll hire what this person on, on Facebook was complaining about. But what Facebook was complaining, the people on Facebook complaining about is what Stonies does. They're like, we don't have a venue. We don't have this. Stonies open 2 locations. Like, literally, like, let's get more venue. But what they're like, so it's like, is it a genre thing? And I know from when Nathan was in his metal band days, there was no venues here in town. It was either, like, no stage, no nothing. Nobody wants a rock scene. Nobody wants a punk scene. Nobody wants a rap scene. No one wants, like, they just don't want that scene. So they don't, you know, like, so I don't know. It's like, there's so many things that dive into this, and I mean, maybe the punk rock museum will have more punk bands too.
Yeah, but also like at the end of the day, I mean, well,
know your audience. Just know your audience. I do not want to come from New York.
Is not gonna like.
I don't want to come from New York to come here. I want to party. I want to dance to songs I know. Let's be real. A lot of the bands like. Like when I go to Florida, there are also cover bands now, mostly because people like just want to dance and they want to dance to something they know, and they don't want to dance to like
They want to
some
get
guy's
drunk to
heartbreak.
Journey. Like,
Yeah, exactly. They want to be like, I won't stop believing.
yeah.
And they'll have a good time. And honestly, like take one of the cover bands out of Carnival Court and replace them with a live artist or
And see
like
what
and
happens.
see what happens. They're not going to make any money.
Dude, do you remember when
The
Fastball...
piano bars,
do you
same thing. Like,
Do you remember when Fastball had their night at Carnival and they have like 2 hits? Like, okay, so they had like a Fastball show at Carnival.
oh,
And they have a song called The Way.
okay.
And that song is like, it's an older song, but it's about like this old couple that with Alzheimer's like decided that they were gonna go on a road trip, and then they were never seen again, and then their bodies were eventually like their bodies were found, and it was like a whole big, like everybody went looking for them and they were missing. It's a dark song, but you have to look it up. It's great.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, I wanted to go to that show because I was like, oh my god, like I love that song, and they had like the one song. They actually had 2, but Carnival tried selling tickets.
It didn't work.
And it didn't work. It didn't matter that Fastball was a bigger, like, was like an actual, like has an actual name, right?
Yeah.
Like they did do it. Like Carnival did try it, and it did not work.
I think the only time that would work at Carnival is if the artist was like
I mean, it would be
if
cool
one of
to,
the like remember when the emo festival got when we were young tour it was all blown out and they all went to different venues around town to perform. I feel like those moments Carnival Court can pull that shit off. Like, hey, we're gonna have All American Rejects because they just rescheduled the show. Like, we're gonna get people.
Yeah.
But that's like a one-off.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a everyday, or unless you brought, and like, I don't think Carnival Court wants to put that much energy into their entertainment because honestly, they have a guaranteed people pleaser.
Yeah.
Why would they hunt down these bands and hope they come?
4 bands that they use.
Yeah, that are people pleasers that get them in the, like,
literally,
they got the formula. It's good.
Like, yeah, and it hasn't failed them in 20 years.
But I will say, like, I feel like a lot of our cover bands that we've known and we saw before COVID have not really been coming back, except for like, you know, the obvious ones. But like
I haven't seen Silver Sage or Holes and Hearts in a while.
When was the last time Crown Avenue played?
Recently. I just had to work, so I didn't go. But
I didn't know that. But how much is recently?
I want to say like maybe a month ago.
Oh,
like,
okay. I just didn't see anything on social media.
That's, you know, like, but they aren't getting, like, they're not getting booked as, like, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I remember that, like, one of the Carnival bartenders, like, was, like, going on this, like, rant about how, like, awful they were. And I jumped in on, I love Crown Avenue. They're literally my favorite cover band in town. Like, literally my favorite.
Well, we also just like them as people. That's why.
They are some of my closest friends. No, but I, like, adore the crap out of them. So, I went in and was like, no, they're amazing, and they've played over here and over here and over here, and they actually have managed to get really good gigs, like solid, like like a lift bar at Aria, like that kind of shit. Like they played there, they had a residency there. So like they aren't like terrible. And I remember like I just went and just defended the shit out of them, and I remember that like one of the guys from the Garage Boys was like friends with like one of the guitarists at the time. And Derek comes to me and he goes, Jessica, I just want to say thank you. Like, you have no idea how much that meant to us, and we know how much you love us, and we love you. And I was like, I love you guys so much. And like, I will make it a point, but like, I have not seen. Because, like,
I haven't seen any posts from them.
So
which is
Jay
wild.
is doing, like, but the thing is like, okay, so everybody in cover bands, most people in cover bands have side gigs.
Well,
like, they all have side hustles. They all have other stuff going on. That's why, like, we haven't seen much from Dollface lately. They all have other things happening. They have
real jobs. I think there's very limited amount of people. Like, I think you get the Zoe Bowie, who is full-time, but he even does outside gigs other than
Jamie Lynch left Zoe Bowie. Like I mean, to do other stuff. Like,
there's so many people.
Everybody has other things going on.
So I don't know. I don't know what Delulu Land. I mean, listen, maybe they're talking about like, oh, you know, I could go to. I'm upset that I can go be in a cover band and play at Carnival Court and make X amount of money, which is nice money, and
they make good money at Carnival.
Go as an original artist to Carnival Court and not make any of that money, or go to a container park if they have like a funk jam thing and also not make any money. But once again, that doesn't come from the people on the strip. That's going to come from your community, and your community needs to be on board with these little venues and going to these shows. And like,
but also like, I know that touring is a pain in the ass, but isn't that more exposure?
I mean, with the internet, probably not.
Well, then, but you know, there are still some people that are like, I don't want to get on TikTok. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So then, okay, well, then you're stuck touring. Like, I'm sorry. What do you want? Like,
well, I mean, that goes to a whole entire, because no one was saying, like, I'm not doing TikTok and I don't like this. You know, I know
that Roxy Gunn, when they don't have, when, like, they, like, don't have a gig, they'll get on Twitch. And they'll play on Twitch.
Oh, there you go.
And then they'll
get
really like
popular for a while too.
Yeah, that they did that. That's what paid all their bills during COVID.
Yeah, a lot of the cover bands did it that way.
Yeah,
I mean, hey,
but the Roxy Gun Project still does it, and they like.
I mean, listen, if they're making money, why the fuck not? I mean, there's so many. Like the way
if you have a following, you know, and that's the thing too is people who love the cover band. Like, okay, again. Like, Roxy Gunn. I think I have a copy of the Crimson Riot CD. Like, I even have a Crimson Riot t-shirt. Yeah. Right? Like,
your regulars
I would literally, like Easy Ace, when they released their album, I bought it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I love you as an artist, as like a, like, even if you're like doing cover bands, I can still like see your talent.
Yeah.
And still support you buying your music. Yeah. And then what I'm going to turn around and do is like write a request on a piece of paper with some money that says, can you play this original song, please?
Yeah.
Like, so it's, you know.
I don't know. I think, once again, if you want I
remember begging Crown Avenue to write original shit because I love them too. And I was like, if you bought your shit, if you like made your own stuff, like you did original stuff, I would buy it.
Yeah.
So I think at one point they were even working on like, and I would totally buy it. So it's like, you know.
That is also you and not everyone.
But then why wouldn't you like do that? Like if you love.
Because I can tell you right now, there is a huge difference between writing your music and being in a cover band.
Yeah.
I mean, what it takes talent-wise.
Yeah.
Complete difference. So, like, not everyone can write music. And I'm not saying Crown Avenue can't, but I'm just saying, like, just because you're in a cover band doesn't mean you didn't try original music and it just didn't work out for you and now you have to do this.
Right.
And I think that's the path that's really hard for musicians to understand, like, oh, my rock star dreams didn't work out, so I have to find another avenue in music to make money. Which, by the way, I don't know I don't know if no one knew this. No one makes money in music. Unless you're teaching and you're a damn good one, no one's making money in music.
Or you have several gigs.
Or you're a studio musician, or you're like co-writing songs or producing on the side. Honestly, you'd have a better chance being a DJ. And that's not new.
Nope.
At all.
And that's coming from somebody who knows 2 DJs that get booked everywhere. 3 DJs. 4 DJs. 4. 2 of them are at Gillies, but they're also at Old Red and the George. So, I mean.
No, I don't know. There's ways to go about it. I think it's just, the music scene sucks. I don't know what it's like in another state, but like, this is our scene, and the only way to change that is get to all these people that are bitching and moaning about cover bands to start doing their own music and supporting each other and going to each other's shows, because that will stop it. Or help add into it.
Like, throw in their like original stuff in the middle of like their cover stuff. And sometimes people don't even know that, like, okay, Alter Ego, like they do.
Yeah, if you mix in your own song, no one's paying attention.
No, but like, here's the thing: is
you can do it.
Like Alter Ego, right? That's another one. I don't think they have like original stuff, but they have like really great merch. They have a really huge following. Mm-hmm. If they were to write their own, if they were to release an album, people would buy it.
Yeah,
because you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, come on,
well,
like you have to like create. Like, it's all about also having a following. You could get that exposure by creating that following with doing cover bands.
Yeah,
write your own stuff. throw a song or two in there.
Yeah.
And then have like your CDs ready to sell with your merch.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's ways to go about it. Also, it's like this is part of the figuring it out. I don't know. Welcome to Hollywood, baby. The stars are bright. You know what's also really famous on the Strip? Bedbugs.
Oh.
So, I'm a bedbug pro, living from an apartment complex from the residents having bedbugs, and then they traveled into my little home. That was fucking gross. That was awful. But listen, Excalibur, Mirage, Venetian, and Encore have
Encore.
because that's how easy it is to get. And they spread like wildfire, and they fuck like rabbits.
But think about like how many people we just had in town for
with Formula One and Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's a lot. And listen, the only way to so by the way, if you've been here in town and you did stay at one of those places, you need to get yourself some Lysol stuff. Wash all your hot clothes in really hot water. I added a pot of boiling water because the little motherfuckers die at 140 degrees. Anyways, and then you do that, wash everything, Clorox spray everything. You should be good. If you do get them, steam the shit out of them. Just steam your house. It'll be nice and clean and fresh and dead bugs. But real talk,
dead bugs. Your bed bugs will be dead bugs.
Bed bugs, dead bugs. But yeah, just check everywhere. Just check everywhere because sleep in lavender. They don't like those either.
Oh,
yeah, ticks,
lavender,
fleas, lice, and bed bugs don't like lavender. What a great plant, because I love it. Anyway, so yeah, check your clothes, check your suitcases, check your beds. Check the beds before you climb into it.
Yeah.
Live in I don't know.
That's when some Vegas influencers come into play a little bit. There are certain ones. Yeah. And there's actually really just one that I'm thinking of, and I'm not going to mention her because we're just not going to do that. But she's really good about going about the black lights and showing you which hotels are the best to stay at.
Yeah.
And the ones that you wouldn't think were the cleanest happen to be way cleaner than any place you would like.
Well, I think it's really important to remind people bed bugs don't mean anything about your hygiene or anything like that. They just like the beds and crevices. So it's the room could be clean. And the room that's why Encore and Venetian, those are very clean places. Those are very nice locations, but if you don't kill them with the heat.
Travis Kelce was just there again over this week at Excess Nightclub.
Yeah, I was confused.
I wonder if he went to Sydney for 2 days.
No, yeah, I saw that, but I was just oh, okay, I guess you guys are coming back to party in Vegas.
Yeah,
it's been 2 weeks, but whatever. Yeah, it's whatever.
Well,
welcome.
I think because Mahomes took the whole team.
Oh, it was an actual let's party in Vegas.
Yeah, because the Super Bowl was here.
Yeah.
So of course they're gonna go party after the Super Bowl here. Whereas they planned a separate celebration trip.
Okay.
So he came back for that.
Yeah. Well,
he had it was a team party, I guess you could say.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean,
so I'm did Travis Kelce stay where the
I
bed
feel
bugs are?
Because Clark County Health Department
Is Taylor gonna let him back on the airplane?
I mean, all he has to use is some Lysol. Lysol his ass. Well, I don't know if you know this. Some especially the international flights, they have this little Mr. Bomb thing that they're okay, we're walking through the aisles with our Mr. Bomb, and it's psh, and it's a disinfectant, so little bugs like that can't travel off the airplane.
Well, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've only seen it a few times on TikTok. I'm not an international traveler at the moment.
Oh, I will be.
Yeah, I'm jealous, but it's okay. I was on the Strip a lot this week, and it was a lot. Listen, Mama's tired. There was a lot going on. Friday, Vegas baby and I went to Yard House to see our lovely friend Grace, and that was a lot of fun. We had really good food. There was so many people. Oh my God, let me tell you. So I park at Harrah's, normal, every day. I get in, and there are fucking convention people everywhere, and they're all in scooters, and they're all 98 years old, and I'm is this the old people that have to use a scooter fucking convention? Because that's what it's fucking looking like, okay? And they're fucking everywhere, and they're all beeping at each other, and they're trying to get on the monorail.
They're all beeping at each other.
And they're trying to get on the monorail, but like because there's 9,000 of them in wheelchairs, they're like trying to get on the elevator. And when I tell you, I mean, they were all 98 years old. Like all of them old hair, like, Margaret, where are we going? I don't know. Like, I don't know what was going on. I thought that was really odd, but they were in my fucking way. I'm nice to old people, but like, holy moly, Mima, where is your child to help you through Vegas? Because you need it. And I'm not patient enough. And then I get down, and there was some other convention with weird guys in like weird slacks. So I just ignored that. Oh, and as we're walking to Yard House, this guy goes, "Oh, stardom young to danger," like talking about Vegas. And I was like, "Yeah, motherfucker. His name is Vegas Baby." I didn't say that to him.
That's his name.
But he's a fucking Vegas baby. And don't be jelly that my son has been on cooler places than you. That's not my problem.
He really has.
Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Anyways, then we saw flamingos, bird, and bird. We saw some fish that he called shark. He was like, "Shark!" And I was
skeleton.
Like, yeah, a lot of skeleton. And then I was like, "No, that's a koi." But it's okay, we're learning. And that was Friday.
I wish I could have been there.
It's been really beautiful outside of Vegas, so it's been really nice.
We're finally getting our nice weather back.
Yeah, and so then on Sunday, I went to Carnival Court. And that's just, it's so funny to be back there. And
I haven't been in probably, well, no, I went like last year. Like I would pop in to go see the droids. Like their very last set or like the last couple of songs.
Yeah.
But like, I don't make it a point to like really go there and hang out anymore.
Well, and honestly, like, I mean, I've never been a part of the Carnival Court drama.
That's
and
why
I know there
always
is.
Go to Sarka.
Well, honestly, like,
because it's like going to Carnival Court without the Carnival Court drama.
Yeah. Well, I'm never in it, so I can go to Carnival Court and not have to deal with it at all.
Well, I was for a
I'm not
while.
involved. Like, that's the great thing. It's like, none of these people remember
Some
who
of
I
my other
am.
friends don't go to Carnival Court.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Either,
listen,
like, anymore.
I can see where it gets like Maria was filling me and she was like, "Oh, we call this lady Pinky because she dances all the time and she always wears pink and like, you know, she does kicks."
Oh yeah, I mean they have
And,
like their
like,
regulars,
yeah,
but
and,
then
like,
they also have like there's like the Mean Girls squad or like the mean like
Yeah,
they
they're
do
still
have
there.
like
They're
they're
still
like
there.
they have like it's so weird like they have like their cliques and
It is weird when they all get together and they're like, "Oh, hey," because I watched it because it was like it's fun to I people watch at Carnival Court. That's all I do at Carnival
and
Court.
it's all the same people.
It is, well, yeah,
Aside from like the tourists, then
Yeah.
you have like the regulars, and they're all the fucking same.
and like they're like, "Oh, hey, babe," and they get their drinks and they're like, I don't know. It's just the way they sit there. I don't know. And I used to be one of those people, so it's kind of funny. But like,
I used to be one of those people. We used to be like
all the time. But it's just kind of funny to look at because it's like, oh, okay. But it was a good time. I mean, honestly, if my friend wasn't there, I probably would want to go somewhere else. Real quick, traffic though. So the traffic at the Sphere is so insane, so unbelievably insane. I didn't know U2 was playing. And
I hate going on days. Like I hate going to work on days when U2 is playing.
It's so messy. So I turned on Koval and I was like, because by the Sphere was all fucked up. So I had to turn on Koval to go on Flamingo. And even that took 45 minutes. And then the airport bypass was all fucked up. It took me 2 hours to get home from Carnival Court.
What?
Yep. I left at 5 o'clock. I walked down
Oh,
to
that's
my
because you
car
left like right at 5.
at 5:15. Yeah, well, I had to. But like, yeah, it was, but it's on a Sunday.
Oh.
It was Sunday. It was just from that thing. And then the cops weren't very helpful. I'm not saying it was their whole job to only direct traffic, but like it would have been helpful. A wee bit helpful. But yeah, it took me 2 hours to get home. It was insane.
I mean, like, but you know, actually, like on U2 days, most of the time I have to be at work at like 3 or 4, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just dealing with like waiting for like the crossing guards to like let people walk by just so like I can like turn onto Koval just to like get to work. But that's like the longest wait for me. But I also live 8 minutes away.
It's not good.
So this weekend, or actually last week, it was Monday.
Yes.
I was working at Jimmy Kimmel's, but at my home base, Vic's, they had a private event.
Ooh.
Yeah. So private that Bill Foley,
Ooh.
the owner of the Golden Knights,
Ooh.
and Joe Pesci
Oh.
from Home Alone and My Cousin Vinny,
Casino.
and Casino, were in attendance.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I know.
And you're like, oh, I wonder how we like the food.
I know that. You know what? And then like, so I get to work on Saturday, and I noticed like all these like tequilas, and I was like
tequila.
like these like new tequilas that we have, and I was like, what are these?
Yeah.
They were Mark Wahlberg, because I knew that Mark Wahlberg had a tequila. I just didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, it just came out. Just came out.
So
Right?
I was like, what are these? And Brandon's like, oh, they're Mark Wahlberg's tequilas. And I was like, why do we have Mark Wahlberg's tequilas?
Yeah.
Which is like, cool, that's great.
Yeah,
But
but,
like,
like,
why do we have it?
Seems like a niche.
Yeah, it's like, why do we have it? It was because Mark Wahlberg was supposed to be at Vic's on Monday. No, I'm kind of glad I wasn't there, because I would have been really mad if I
Why
missed
did he
that.
quit? I mean, cancel.
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I just know that
Let's
he was
hope he
supposed
got
to
the
be
flu.
there.
But I've heard he's a little bit much to work with.
But he went to Circa and was like serving with like Vache, and so
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's fun.
Yeah.
That's much different than Vic's.
Yeah.
Like serving with Vache is like so much different than Vic's.
Yeah. And
I
Vache's like
mean,
famous.
It is what I mean.
He's
And like he's like
famous.
flaring and like he's mixing
And it was,
and like people on the street are like
he was doing it on
so
TikTok
excited.
And
Yeah.
he's like TikTok famous. Like everybody knows
he
who
had
is
a TikTok Super Bowl ad.
Yeah, he really had a TikTok Super Bowl ad. What?
Wasn't it Pepsi or something?
Yes!
Good for you. I said to Jessica, I was like, we know him. And she's
He's been on our show
a couple times.
more than once.
That's funny. So yeah, no, I mean, I was kind of surprised he was going to make an entry into VIX in general.
Yeah,
That's kind of odd, but apparently he did.
but like Joe Pesci.
Mm.
And so I found this out because on like Sunday,
Uh-huh.
the Sunday before, Bill Foley's security was like walking through,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't realize who it was, and like because it was just like it was security,
Yeah.
so I was like, probably another politician, whatever, because we
Yeah.
have those a lot.
LA.
We really like Governor DeSantis' security was there like I
bet. Yeah.
of like days before like checking shit out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, is it like another politician? Like, who is it?
Yeah.
Because President Trump was at Stony. Like, it was a whole, like, they have
Yeah.
politicians. So I'm like, okay, well, who is it? And then I'm like, I see him hand a business card over to my GM, and it's got the Golden Knights on it.
Oh.
And then I find out he's head of security for Bill Foley, who is the owner, and I was like, oh, crap. And then I was like, oh, that's really cool, like, that he's coming in here.
Yeah.
Like, we have like shots for like every time the Golden Knights score, we have like the slap shots. Like we have like specialty. I went and got pom poms so that like for the Golden Knights games, like it's a thing. So we like huge Golden Knights people for our bar, and so then he was like wanting to come in like the back door or whatever, and then my like floor supervisor just like nonchalantly goes, yeah, well, like he was telling me about it. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's weird though because like Joe Pesci came in through the front door, and I was like, Joe Pesci was here? When was Joe Pesci here? Maybe I need to work here more than 2 days a week. Like, do I like
Come
what?
on. That's
When
funny.
was Joe Pesci? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like.
Did they have like servers that only serve them? They shut down the whole thing for that, like the
Yeah.
event. Oh,
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It's booked. Like.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome though. I'm so glad Vix is getting that attention. Because it's like only takes that good recommendation from a Golden Knights to
Yeah.
successful. That's the Loudon family, though.
Tell you what, if they ever like need me to take a day off from Kimmel's to take care of the Golden Knights, I fucking will.
Yeah, maybe you can find.
I've taken off enough days of Vic's to work at Kimmel's.
Yeah.
I really have. I took
Yeah,
off like
it's
a
okay.
month. I took off 4 Sundays
my
total
goodness.
to work Kimmel's in the morning for football.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I lost my Sunday morning crowd. I had to rebuild it.
Oh,
Yeah. So, okay.
it wasn't worth it.
If I ever have to come into work to be an extra server or extra bartender to take care of like anybody from the Golden Knights, I absolutely will.
Absolutely, with a smile.
What else happened this week?
I don't
Anything
know.
anything else?
I think that's a good wrap up. I mean, we haven't had anything too crazy this week, especially after we're coming off of like Formula One and like Super Bowl. It's hard to be like, well, what happened? Because it feels like nothing happened. But
No.
honestly, I feel like it was kind of quiet a couple weeks, and
I mean, aside from just kind of watching all the drama unfold with like the musicians has been kind of funny. But it was like, what was great about it was it literally happened like right after Funk Jam, and I was like,
I thought you found out about it from Funk Jam, so I was like, what's going on? And then you're like, no, it's all Facebook. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. But like,
Okay.
what was the best part? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you can
Well, it
literally
sounds-
once a month go
do
with
something.
Funk Jam. Like, what?
But that's also because, yeah, it just sounds like everything is messy, and it sounds like if you really wanted to, you would figure it out.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
everyone
there
has
are
a
ways
stepping
around
stone.
it. There are ways to do it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. It's
Also,
fine.
Imagine Dragons was a cover band before they were Imagine Dragons.
I thought they were DJs.
They might have been. I
I
thought they were
heard
a
a
cover
couple
band.
of things, but yeah.
It's hard to tell with those
Still.
guys. But anyways, we can go on.
Anyway, well,
All right. Well, that was our episode, guys.
thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, Jessica here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our awesome channel. And for all the news and updates on Reality Check, please remember to hit that little notification bell. And as always, we will see you out on the strip.